Annyeonghaseyo, my name is Jeremy Cape. I'm from Gainesville, Georgia. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in leadership. I have 2 years teaching experience in Korea. My first year I taught at Wonderland in Dongtan, where I taught ages 7 to 9. My second year I taught at Shinhan Middle School in Anyang. I taught mainly third year middle school boys, but in the afternoons I taught the elementary school kids for the drama class that our school had started. We also started a radio show there called the Shinhan Radio Show. I did that with my co-teacher and the other native teacher at the school. We also had students come on and do different segments with us each week. As far as the reason I want to come back to Korea, I'm really looking to continue my teaching career. I developed a love of teaching while I was there that I really didn't know I had. And I really developed a love for Korea and Korean students and people. So I really want to get back to teaching and, helping students to get better with English and do the best I can in that job. As far as my greatest strength as a teacher, I'd have to say that is the ability to be flexible and to adapt my lesson plans to each different class. Because each class has different dynamics and different interests. So I like to try to make sure that is part of the lesson plan, because that helps the students be a lot more engaged and want to learn a lot more. So I try to use the target language from the lesson and adapt that into some interest that the class has. That way that they can practice what we're learning and also be involved because they're very interested in the topic. My classroom management style would be the preventative approach. What I try to do is create a student-centered and friendly environment where I teach and reinforce the behaviors and rules that I want to see held up in class, as well as the consequences that will happen if those rules aren't upheld. I make an effort to connect with the students so that I can learn their specific learning styles and what challenges and strengths they have. That way I can try to prevent any behavioral problems that might arise. But for the behavioral problems that do arise, what I do is I try to make sure any kind of consequences they have are consistent and fair to the students. Because I want the environment to be very friendly. I don't want to have to be very authoritative in class. So that's why I try to reinforce these things so that they don't become a big problem in class. And like I said, address those issues that I need to in a fair and consistent manner. My main goals for the class is to create a fun and collaborative learning environment. This way the students feel free to participate without being judged or criticized for any mistakes they make. Mistakes are a part of learning, especially a new language. So I want them to feel that they can definitely answer without being criticized. To do this, I use a combination of the presentation, practice, and production method, the task-based learning approach, and the communicative approach. The reason I do this is so that I can reinforce the target language that we're learning by using games and activities, so that helps keep the students' interest up. I also want the students to speak English for the majority of the class. The only time I would really want them not to is if they needed any kind of translation from the co-teacher. Because speaking in English is how they're going to get better. So I want English to be the only thing that's being used in class. The 3 words that I would want the students to use to describe me would be friendly, fun, and fair. I want them to feel like I am their friend as well as their teacher, because that way they're going to feel a lot more comfortable interacting in class without worrying about me being some kind of authority figure that is going to judge them if they make mistakes or anything like that. I really don't want that. I also want them to have fun, because the more fun the students have, they're going to learn a lot more and they're going to want to learn. And I also want to be fair. I don't want to be a teacher that they think that I'm picking on them or being very mean to them. I want to treat them very fairly. That way we can get along a lot easier. Doing this helps out a lot, because if the students really think I'm fair, they're much more likely to interact with me and not have any problems thinking I'm a mean teacher or anything like that. What gives me the greatest pleasure in teaching is seeing the students learn and progress over time. I love to see them and see how much they change over a year, over a semester, or any kind of time frame like that. I also love to see them enjoy my class and enjoy learning English, because English is going to be very important for them as they grow older, and I don't want it to be something that's like a chore. I want it to be fun for them, and I love to see them having fun in class. This makes them learn a lot more, and I just love seeing them. The last thing I want to say is thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to work for your school and to help improve the English of your students. I'm very eager to get back to Korea because I've grown to really love Korea as a country, and I love teaching Korean students. So I hope that you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. I really hope to hear from you soon. 안녕하세요.